today on We'll Talk Back, we'll be talking being faithful to acceptance, not just of yourself, but of others. If you like this episode, hit like or give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of We'll Talk Back. As always, I'm your lovely host, Rowan, here with
Marsha. We're so happy to see you today.
And on today's episode, we are going to be discussing being faithful.
One of my favorite segments of the show.
And Marsha did such a great topic in the intro, so go ahead and tell our viewers what we're going to be discussing about today in terms of being faithful.
Well, it was a topic that you brought to my attention that I was not aware of. And I'm going to put it back on you because you have a better history of it than I do. I have a lot of opinions on it, but I think you're more informed than myself.
So basically, this discussion came about as a result of different individuals, different celebrity having different platforms, saying different things, and then subsequently the kickback of that. So most recently,
Kim
Burrell, a gospel singer, she was, I also believe she's also a pastor. So from this, she didn't post it, but someone from the audience recorded her doing a sermon in which she said some very hateful and hurtful things to individual of the gay community. Subsequently, with that being said, that video has since been released, and there's been different, kickbacks of that. Subsequently to that video, I do want to make a mark that she did subsequently send out a secondary video saying, she loved everyone and God loves the sinner. God just hates the sin and all these different things. So I don't want to focus on what she says because at the end of the day, I do believe that each and every one of us have the right and have the context and have the ability to formulate our own individual opinion, topics, and the way that we wish to share them. That's at the end of the day, that is going to be our conviction. What I do want to talk about and what I want to discuss is that at times in life, we can get wrapped up in multiple different things. So we always talk about these different hats that we wear. So whenever you are in a professional environment, you do not mix your professional environment with your home environment, and vice versa. You don't mix your home with your profession. In this particular case, you have someone who's using ministry, and you have to understand that when you're on a ministry platform, and then you're also in the entertainment industry, there's two things that simply just cannot cross. So subsequently to that, as a result of her ministry that she was, proclaiming.
You're on the spotlight. People see you.
Now individuals in the entertainment industry does not wish to associate themselves with that. And I see a lot of people having discussion, she's just being punished for being a Christian and she's doing this and she's doing that. And I want to have this conversation with you that's sitting there, regardless of which side of this topic
How is it punishment, though? Because if that is her conviction, that is her belief, when you express it, you have to own what you're saying and be okay with it, and do understand that other people may disagree, and dislike what you're saying. But if that's your belief, that's your belief. So you can't be offended when someone disagrees with it.
And what the argument tried to basically say is that this, Kim did not hate Ellen. She disliked that Ellen is gay, but she doesn't hate Ellen. She loves Ellen. So by Ellen subsequently now disinviting her from the show, now Ellen is looking like the bad person for standing up for what she believes in.
Ellen is not the bad person. I have to say I love Ellen, by the way.
What I want everyone to understand is that people are going to pick what works for them. And in this particular case, I am not going to comment and say whether she's right or wrong. Because like I said, she is okay to formulate her own opinion. That's her opinion and solely that. She's picking a bad part, and let me not say a bad part. She's picking the part of the scripture, part of the Bible, part of the context of the text that is extreme, and we talk about this all the time. So what she's doing now is no different than someone who wishes to take bad instruction from another book and turn it extreme, and then we complain about it.
Exactly. So, you can't say that you're a white supremacist and then turn around and say, but I love Marsha.
Yes.
I'm a black woman. And then you want to come in my space, break bread with me and socialize with me. No, it doesn't work that way. So you have to, what you put out, you have to expect
You have to expect
the feedback is not going to be positive.
It is, and it's not only her. I've been seeing different celebrities, Vivica Fox, and the list goes on and on and on. And again, what I'm saying here is, it's not that these individuals are bad or wrong for saying what they're saying, but you have to understand that when you, as an individual, I cannot, using the same example, I cannot be a taxi cab driver. I'm a taxi cab driver driving around town, and I have an issue with woman or someone who is Muslim or any of those different kind of contexts, and expect that I'm going to put up a sign on my car that says no Muslim, but then when there's a petition to not have me drive my car in a Muslim neighborhood, I get upset because I was okay with driving Muslim men but not Muslim women. So that's what I'm simply saying. Once there's the kickback, like you're saying, if this is who you are, be true and dear to it. And now you feel as though because you say you don't like a particular group of people, now you feel that you're being exercised. Unfortunately, that path just doesn't cross over to the other part. And someone asked me saying, so what does that mean? Does that mean that if you support something and for the sake of entertainment purposes, job purposes, or any of that, do you hold your tongue or do you buy? I say, you know what? There's different ways of doing that.
No, you don't hold your tongue. What you realize before you enter certain industries that we're in a global society. Whoever I am 10 years from now, these videos are not going to go anywhere unless William Polanco Media take them down. So whatever I put out, this is a representation of me. So you're putting out something not just to your church, but to the world. What do you expect? If you want to keep it closed, then you present it to those closed pockets of people who share, who share the same views as yourself. But when you put it out to the world media, then do expect that there's so much variation, there's so many differences, there's so much diversity in the world, and your opinion is just a small part of it. You could be fine with it, but do understand that everyone is not gonna agree. That's it. And
the part of the whole being faithful is understand that these different things that we're saying, they're topics, they're issues, and not to make a pond of it, you can be a Hillary Clinton, you could be a flip-flopper, and not flip-flop for the purpose of it benefiting you. But if throughout the line you have experienced this, have exposure, came across someone who really truly touched you, blessed you, you are able to then, be on the other side. You don't have to be a gay hater for your whole life. If down the road you feel as though you weren't educated or you weren't informed enough about the topic or the issue, and now you have more understanding of it, by all means, that's fine. But understand that wherever you fall, even if you're for it, even if you're pro for it, even if you're in the gay homosexual community, and again, not that I condone this, but if you decide that you're transgender or any of that, and you go to an inner city community, and unfortunately you get abused, assault, robbed, all that. Again, I do not condone any of that, but that's one of those things that you take on yourself as to say, you know what, I could have gone as a guy and I probably would have been fine, but the fact that I went that way, this is what happened. So both sides have its issue and both sides have its ramifications. So at the end of the day, just always be mindful of that.
So what you're saying, what I got from this is someone could have a certain view or idea of opinion that could always change. And that's true. That's a part of evolving as a person and going through life, And a lot of that comes with talking to someone and asking questions and being open and getting to know a person, as opposed to just coming up with your own conclusion and stereotypes or following what someone else told you.
But this particular instance it's just been very, very interesting. So I wanted to bring that discussion to you guys, that please be faithful to what your ideas are and understand that your ideas, whether good or bad, have consequences, and you need to be faithful to those consequences. Once those consequences start hitting you across the face like a ton of bricks, don't blame the other side for it.
Exactly. And I think that if everybody's not going to agree with each thing in popular culture, each idea.
You like veggie, I like fruits.
Yes. I prefer certain things that you don't. It's things you do I don't like. I think it's funny. I don't like it. I don't want to apply it to my life, but I still accept you. See, when we get to the point of we're putting people down and we're just saying demeaning, harsh things.
But the big thing is
about folks, it's not of love and it's not good.
It's not. I don't want to interrupt you, but the big thing here is, and you said the whole word acceptance. acceptance doesn't mean that I'm gonna make up a scenario here, Marsha.
What is it gonna be?
Let's whatever it is that you
No,
like
what's
to
the
do.
scenario?
I can't come up with one right now, but
Okay.
whatever it is that you have that I dislike about you. So let's say, okay, fine, you're a lesbian, and I don't like lesbian. Me accepting you doesn't mean that I now have to become a lesbian.
Exactly. Exactly. But some people
That's the
feel
joke.
that way.
But acceptance does not mean that I have to become a lesbian. Acceptance doesn't mean that I have to come over to your house and partake in your lesbian party. Acceptance doesn't mean any of that. Simply what acceptance means is that I'm not going to first inflict harm on you. I'm not going to be derogatory towards you. I'm going to respect your space, and I'm going to do all of that. And it's the same thing vice versa. As
You're
long
just
as,
gonna view me as
Thank you.
a human being worthy
Correct.
of love, like everybody
you
else.
live across the street from me. If you want to put up lesbian live here, that's fine. That's your property. That's your right as a homeowner. If I don't like it, whatever be the way, I will go through the appropriate measures, go to the city. If they say it's fine to stay there, stay there. I don't wait till at night when you're sleeping and burn down your I'm a lesbian flag. No. And understanding that acceptance doesn't mean that you have to join. Acceptance just simply means that you guys are both agreeing to stay on separate sides of the issue of the topic, and this hate interaction will not incur.
That's it. That's it in a nutshell. I hope you guys got it.
Absolutely.
If you didn't, we'll go on and on and on. But I hope you got it in all the different ways we presented it.
And as we wrap up this topic again, guys, please be faithful to yourself. As always, continue being the best you that you can be. And if that's boring, you can always try being me.
Guard your heart, especially from hate, because everything you do flows from it. Until next time.